From Dawn Till Dusk by Tilly Snowball. When the hazy light the sun had raised seeped out the inky black of night, and dissipated had that silent sky, out came the raging damselfly, with wings of breath and grace of glass, eyes of rasping beetle blood, and legs like needles so awry. This is my mistress damselfly. Then once more the fair and radiant sun, replaced by moon's reflection, slipped away. Shards of burning stars did then rise high, just like the mystic dragonfly. Unlike her sister with fiery heart, this pellucid spirit danced. Her aura does bewitch mine eye. This is my lady dragonfly.
The Ballad of Wanda Whistler by Daisy Simpson. There never was a sweeter lass who dwelt upon the world, so beautiful, with eyes of jade and countenance of pearl. Her name was Wanda Whistler, and she loved one more than life, a nobleman, Cesario, who yearned her for his wife. The couple married blissfully, and all might have been well, if it had not been for one lass, Miss Whistler's sister, Belle. She too loved fair Cesario, and yearned him for her own, so she resolved to have him and morality bemoan. One day she came upon him in a vivid bluebell wood, and with no hesitation as to if she could or should, she trilled, "You know that Wanda calls herself the young Cesario's wife. Some wife is she, I do tell thee. She plans to end your life." With widened eyes and painful cries, he wandered to a bridge, and peered with curiosity right o'er the wooden ridge. "Farewell!" he cried. He jumped and died. Goodbye to world above, rather that than die at the hand of the one he loved. The news reached Belle and Wanda, and they suffered too, of course. Fair Wanda died of misery, her sister of remorse. So now if you go wandering to the hometown of all three, you'll hear Wanda's voice a-whispering like waves upon the sea.
Mary Moon Mother. Oh, to embrace that face of shining, pining, repining, reclining pearly whiteness, whispering to the night owl noise night of power and love at the fire-filled final hour, whispering to her cowardly cowering children of a love never to be chilled by night's comfortless cold, or the racking shivers of an old age spent camel hunched, turned down and away from the shining face that greets the glowing end of day, that greets the greatly glowing face of her own son, greatly glowing, three in one. Mother, radiant in your reflected love, shedding soft light from far above, lift our eyes and hearts to regard that light that brings illumination to our lives and to black night.
For an archaeologist. You found a constellation of porcelain, an ocean of cracked glaze and small, careful specks of paint. Consider whose feet rounded the corners of the tiles. I like how you come home with cement beneath your nails and tell me stories again and again of the Leviathan, the octopus with too many limbs who dashes ships against the floor. I wonder if that was how it shipped. You tell me not to be silly and put the kettle on. We sip tea and think of ancient Roman souls in their dearly discarded sandals.
The stolen puppet. The blushing of an August rose is the colour of her clothes, a warming flame you could compare to her flowing amber hair. With strings you move her wooden arms, she captivates you with her charms. Oh, I cry in my surprise, for the puppet has no eyes. It's night, and what a dreadful dream. The puppet has turned cold and mean. "Go downstairs," she says to me, "to the room that's hid from thee." So I follow her directions, though I'm left with many questions. I know that room, I know the space, but a wall stands in its place. I wake up and ask my gran. She shows me the grand floor plan, for the house once was a school. She says, "This is no April Fool." 400 years before, a girl was trapped behind that door. Her name was Susie, orphan child. Her countenance was sweet and mild. The puppet was her best friend's toy. She saw it brought her so much joy. She stole it, so the teachers said. They found it eyeless in her bed. Her punishment, the naughty room, but they forgot her, I assume. They never heard her screams inside, and then the tale says that she died. It's 10 at night, I cannot sleep, and I've already counted sheep. I think I hear some whispering that makes me think of fearful things. With eyes wide open, all I see is that puppet close to me. "Susie is scared," I hear her say. "I want to sleep, don't want to play." "Susie is scared," she says once more. I knock her roughly to the floor. I feel a hand that isn't mine send a shiver down my spine. The hand is scratching at my skin. I feel my head begin to spin. "Susie needs you, Susie's crying," so I find myself complying. I run, each step a mile apart, holding the puppet to my heart. Finally, I reach the door. I know a wall was there before, but right before my very eyes, I see the room, to my surprise. I feel a sudden breath of air. I wonder if my granny's there. The lights they flicker, then they're out. Nobody can hear my shout. I turn to leave. I trip and fall. The door is gone. There's just a wall.
My escape. I scramble up my garden path, the ground a sheet of sharp white frost. My feet like pistons drive me forward. Cushioned feet crunch like boys eating crisps. My ponytail rages against my back. The sun begins to wake. I race past perfect patches of green. Footprints frozen in the night glisten like fossils fixed in time. Morning birds sing from sighing branches. The last, tattered, tired leaves there cling and smile at me like a grandmother. My outside is turning blue. My inside is a warm, excited orange. I tilt my head up. The golden sun greets me. She touches my eyelids with maternal hands. My mind is so peaceful, I can hear my feelings buzz. I look up. Silver clouds glide past like swans. I breathe in. Fresh air, damp leaves. I smile to myself and close my eyes. I wish and I wish I could run and never feel tired. I'm liberated in the chilled air, heart pounding, exuberant, free.
The dance class. Oh, it's so difficult to be a dancer. My toes ache and my back's about to break. All morning I've been straining, and my teacher keeps explaining that pain is art, and that is part of dance. But it will all be worth it, the struggle to unearth it. The talent lying within me will one day break free. I shall be a prima ballerina, standing center stage as history turns page. People calling my name, finally riches and fame, enjoying great acclaim, drinking fine champagne. Lou, Lou, stop daydreaming you. Oh no, that's my teacher. I guess I'm not such a special feature. I must work, and certainly not shirk. If I want to get anywhere in life, I must be as sharp as a knife. If I struggle and strive, the dance should come alive. Oh, it's so difficult to be a dancer.
Black and gold. Black and gold flakes haunt the night. The sea is stained of dirt and ash. Silence screams and sparkle flies. Fragile fragments fall and smash. Lights shattering into pieces. Clouds of smoke dancing up high. Like silk it folds and creases. A battle in the night sky. 'Tis a wall of golden freckles, drowned into the dark sea bed. Oh, how the strong wind heckles. it's all so still, it could be dead. An evergreen tapestry surrounds the twilight that money can't buy. Stars shine bright and light the ground. Black and gold shall rain the sky.
The smell of home. In that time, when the darkness of the night has almost lulled me into sleep, and my thoughts are wild and untamed, any type of rationality long gone, something pops into my head. Something near to me, dear to me, so much a part of me, that sometimes I forget it's there, until a sensation, or lack thereof, takes me back to then. To this day, I do not know where it was, when it was, how old I was. All I remember is that all the senses sang the same song and were as blurred as a photograph left in the rain. All I remember is a shoulder that smelt like mother, like safety and home, walking me down a corridor. The floor was grey and sticky, and it clung to a pair of shoes that were light years away. And it was so distant from me that I wondered why we were not surrounded by clouds. And every speck of dust that was dancing in the sunlight was a galaxy, briefly appearing before drifting out of the blade of light, never to be seen again. And I was safe, above it all, just me and these arms that smelt of home.
Your head is a stolen cloud. It bears no face. Your fingers clutch mahogany and sing of all the lonesome years, unshared, not wasted. While handmade strings are pressed until they sing. A mustard suit, shades of faded white, conceal the melancholy of small you. These hues are somber and indefinite, diffusing into carpet, sky, and view. How can somewhere totally defined hold an ambiguity that chars through the floor in diagonal lines, stifling as your old heart's prison bars? Keep your face towards the orange sky. The room will only know your lullaby.
January Lament. All through the barren winter night, with the crisp crunch of a country lane, and an array of starry darkness lies, in forgotten shadows of disguise. Two hearts divided beat in pain, when a thread of faith reveals a light. All through the twilight icy gloom, a graceful glimmer kisses the earth, and longing eyes will forever wait for a beacon all bright one could create. With an age of warmth and silence rebirth, love will discover, flourish and bloom.
Hiking. We walked a week upon the Highland way, beneath the mountains towering above. We passed wide lakes and lochs of majesty that slept concealed among twisted ancient groves. I dreamt of beasts beneath the water's edge. The path was steep, the cliffs were dark and tall. Our route was ragged along the waterfalls that dribbled down the mountain's sloping ledge. The sun was bright and filled us with belief. The rain was light and filled us with relief. Those boots were tough, our enemy and crutch, that stood by us when we ran out of luck. Among the still, fluorescent tents we slept, exposed to wind and weathers bleak and grey. Though time will pass and vivid thoughts will cloud, the peaceful walking rhythm will remain. For we have walked upon the Highland way, which taught us something we cannot convey.
They are sitting idle by the pier. Two old creaking pillars wreathed in smoke, as waves roll in from grey to green to clear. The swarming men will grunt and whoop and jeer, the oily fumes will make them wheeze and choke, as waves roll in from grey to green to clear. They are sitting idle by the pier, as quick hands clatter dice and joke, and thick arms heave at rope and gear. The sea walls black and slick and sheer, the chains that slip, the rope that broke, the men that stink of work and fear, cogs to turn and grease to smear, the barnacles that cut and poke, gamblers fumble, count and sneer. They are sitting idle by the pier, idle chatter in a husky croak, with beards so long and eyes so queer, those two old smokers idling by the pier.
Time. A numb, piercing morning in December. I'll soon be 90. No longer a wife, a flashing thought as I long to remember, by far the happiest day of my life.
My grandson visited last week. His name slipped my mind, but he attempted to spit it out slowly. He was playing a game. A film? Back to the Future. Was that it? I heard time travel or a similar word. I imagined myself so young and free, an elegant eagle to this broken bird, gliding through time, space, so effortlessly, landing 60 years ago tomorrow, looking through a veil, eyes full of sorrow.
You're mysterious as the molecules our father manipulates, familiar like the chin we share. A delicate bud, my fondled flower, the more you grow, the more of you I shall know. An immovable mountain, stubborn as a stain, bane of all waffles, screamed over, beamed over. Ripples on the surface of a river, your laughter lifting spirits all round. I stand confounded, wondering what I've done that seems so much fun, most beloved ankle biter. Thomas the Tank Engine Blue, fit for a chauvinist like you. Younger than the iPhone and as fickle as fashion, my innocuous affiner. Although you have changed from the scrawny, uncooked chicken of our first meeting, since first I pinched and poked you, my love has remained unchanged. For the more you grow, the more of you I shall know.